told you. I told you. I told you what was going to happen. I just didn't realize that the memo has already been sent. I told you. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight. Stop the music. I told you what was going to happen. And it's like an avalanche. It's hilarious. It's freaking hilarious. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet, and welcome to the Dawg Knight Channel. Again, it is, what's the day? Wednesday, the 9th of February, 2022. So yesterday, I said, when I saw Ted Lieu's tweet from, what day was that he did that? He did this tweet. What the hell day was that? Was it yesterday or the day before? No, it was the 7th, 2 days ago. When he put this out, the first thing that came to mind was, oh gosh, their strategy. This is the Democratic strategy. They're going to start realizing, they're going to start telling you, first of all, they're going to tell you that they're he said, because he's recognizing natural immunity here. And I want people to stop using the term natural immunity. It's naturally acquired immunity, okay? I don't know that there's necessarily a natural immunity to the stupid, but, well, it depends on which stupid you're talking about. But in this case, when I say stupid, you know I'm using code for the 19, right? So so natural immunity for the stupid, there might be, but they haven't documented that yet, but they have been documenting naturally acquired immunity for the stupid, right? And so he puts out this tweet talking about the CDC recognizing natural immunity, and so should health officials. But what I didn't notice until someone pointed it out to me the other day, or yesterday, someone pointed me out this later yesterday. Look at this chart. This chart that I showed you yesterday. Come on, come on. There we go. Here we go. This chart right here. Incident laboratory, blah, 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 blah. I didn't notice that this chart was dated 2021, May 30th through October 31st. This is from the CDC. He brought this chart from the CDC. And again, the lines here, this blue line, this is hospitalizations. Again, now you notice this is why I'm thinking about this a lot yesterday after the show was over. This is why people think that if you get the stupid 19, that you're going to go to the hospital and you're probably going to die. This is why some people think it's like 50% of people who get it die. When it's not even close, it's not even above 1%. Especially in age groups. If you're under 70 years old, it's less than 1%. If you're under 50 years old, it's not even a 10% of people between 50 and 0 are dying from this. But the reason people think everybody's going to go to the hospital, everyone's going to die, if you don't get vaccinated, these are the facts. This blue line is the vaccinated people, right? But this blue line does not go to 100. It goes to 18. So anyway, but let me get back to with my point here. This has been known. This is from 2021. They knew this at the time, that people who had already had this stupid 19 had a better resistance to it, to the disease and to severe disease, than the people who've been taking the vacation. They've known this. This has been a fact. And we've known, and in fact, we already knew this. Everybody already knew this, that naturally acquired immunity is probably way better than any vacation. This is from May 30th through October 31st, 2021. Now, this was before the oh my God variant, right? The oh my God variation. I hate having to use code words, but I still don't know what YouTube's going to get pissed off at me about. They've known it, but let me tell you my new theory, which I gave you my theory. My theory yesterday, okay? The theory... Okay, infamous one. That is funny. Hard R19. Anyway, my theory yesterday... That's funny. My theory yesterday was, okay, wait a minute. The reason Ted Lieu did this is because there's a memo that's going out among Democrats that they need to start riding this wave of people who need these restrictions reduced, and they need to find some kind of scientific way to, the science has changed. They're going to be the science has changed, right? And that's going to be their excuse. And then what they're going to do is they're going to try to make themselves heroes because, oh my gosh, the Biden administration strategy worked. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. So yesterday, after I said that, not even an hour after I said that, I started seeing tweets and video and just various things from Democrats who were doing exactly what I was talking about. And so that's what we're gonna show you a little bit of that today because it's just hilarious. Okay, I'm laughing my big fat ass off right now, and I just it's amazing. It's amazing, but not everyone. By the way, there is one problem. Not everybody has gotten the memo yet. But they'll be getting it, but not everybody yet, because there's an interesting piece that I saw from yesterday that does not fit the new narrative. I won't even say the new normal, the new narrative that's coming out. So, but you're going to hear, it's literally, you're going to hear it in spades that, the Biden administration's perfect strategy for doing this. We have tamed the virus. Bullshit. Okay. It's anyway. All right. Before I continue, I must say good morning to the troops because I appreciate you all being here, and I want to say hi. So first in the chat, of course, today, as often is our good friend Avocados Diabli, who gets the bell. Whoa, what the hell? Did I turn down the volume or something? What the hell's going on here? Did any of you hear that? What the hell's going on here? Let's try this again. Okay, what the hell happened here? Oh, man. Sometimes you get too many cords in the old studio here, and you plug in the wrong one. Excuse me. All right, let's say good morning to the troops. Our first person in the chat today is our good friend Avocados Diabli, who gets the bell. Hey, thank you for being here, sir. Also, good morning to Tyre Alexander, who's always second. It's uncanny that you are able to be second, but I see he says you have the devil's luck, Avocados Diabli. I'm going to call your boss and tell him instead of working, you are only doing billable hours. I don't even know what that sentence means. Anyway, good morning, Jonathan Peterson, Jeffrey Russell Jr., who was enjoying the music this morning. Also, good morning to Tall Person. Thank you for tweeting out the show, sir. Also, good morning. I assume, sir. I should never assume your gender. Also, good morning, Tom O'Leary. What's happening? Random Americans in the house. Maddie's in the house. Also, good morning to let's see, Infamous One, Aaron Meredith, and Mike Savage, Blarg. Also, good morning to Zach to the future. Nice to have you back. K Show's in the house. How you doing? Jesse Leon. I think I said. Did I already say Jesse? Well, I'm not sure. I'm gonna say it again. Also, good morning, Natasha. Nice to see you. Natasha Kayleen's in the house. Our friend from over at Hotep Nation. Also, good morning to. First we got some money in the bank. Good morning to my favorite Canadian Jaeger pony. I don't know how. I meant to ask you, Jaeger, if you're anywhere near Ottawa these days. I know Canada's a very big place, so it's like, oh, you're from the United States. Do you know Tony? Tony? Who the hell's Tony? Pittsburgh. You don't know Tony? I'm like, I live 700 miles from Pittsburgh. How would I know? So anyway, I don't assume that you live anywhere near Ottawa. I just think it's funny to ask the question. Also, good morning to Select Boys in the house. Boy. Nice to see you. Also, and I think that's about everybody so far. If I missed you, don't worry, I'll catch up. Thank you. Oh, Attack Alpaca's in the house. How you doing, my brother? All right. Thank you, Tall Person, first sponsor of the day. And by the way, Tall Person, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you for being a continual sponsor of the show and supporter of what we do here. Tall Person says through Streamlabs, which you can do at PDawgKnight.live, happy Pizza Pie Day. And the science has changed, quote unquote. Really? After 2 years of the science is settled? Really? Very good point. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, the settled science. Oh, but it's changed. Wait a minute. Oh, do you mean that all those people who were saying this beforehand, you've been yeeting from social media and you've been telling, oh, these are conspiracy theories. All the conspiracy theories seem to have come true. Amazing. It's freaking amazing. So anyway, how do you not know Tony? Come on, oh, you're from Toronto, 5 hours away. Okay. I don't even, it's sad. I know where Toronto is. I can find it on a map. I can find Vancouver. I can find Nova Scotia, and I know kind of the provinces, but it's weird. And Calgary, because I know my wife's been to the Calgary Stampede, and I looked up where it was. Plus, I have some cousins from Nigeria that live in Calgary now, but I have no idea where Ottawa is in Canada. So let me just look this up. Ottawa. Let's go Ottawa. Map. Isn't that sad? But I know like the United States, I know the states like the back of my hand because I've been to almost every state and I know what states I haven't been to and I kind of know where most of the capitals are, but we just don't know. We don't know enough about Canada and the United States, and it's kind of sad, So I'm going to look up to see where Ottawa is. Here's the real reason I wanted to look up Ottawa. Oh, it's not far from Montreal. I get it. Is it in Quebec? Is it in Quebec? I'm not even, no, technically, isn't Ottawa technically kind of like DC? It's kind of a separate entity, like, where that's not part of the, oh, okay, it's way over there. Yeah, I don't think I could drive there right now. I was literally thinking about driving to the trucker protest, but that's a little far. That'd be about a 12-hour drive, or maybe not a 12-hour drive, but it'd be about a 15-hour drive to go to Ottawa. So I guess I won't be doing that. Plus, they probably wouldn't let me in because I am one of those nasty purebloods. Oh, there's funny. There's some lady on Twitter. I can't remember. She was saying, she tweeted out. I think she deleted it because people were ridiculing her. But when people use the term honk honk, and everyone knows what honk honk means, right? It means kind of like, it's like a clown noise, those stupid little clown horns. It's a clown horn thing, right? When someone says honk honk, it means you're a clown. And then when we've used the term pureblood, and my brother Tyre here uses pureblood a lot, and that means pureblood meaning people who haven't taken the Fauci juice, right? Well, this hoe, to be kind, this hoe was saying that honk honk stands for HH. Now, in the chat, what do you think her next line was about what HH stands for? Yes, an ode to the guy with the funny mustache. That's where she was saying that people use the term honk honk, aka you're a clown, is the same as saying that thing, right? The yes, 88. Yes, it's the same as 88. And wait, you're confused. Oh no, she was saying that honk honk was code for Heil Hitler. And there's the clip. You got me to say it. There's the clip. And you even get a little, you could even mash it up with the thing when I went like this really quick, right? If you do this fast enough, it kind of looks like that. And then she was saying that the idea of pureblood was a racist dog whistle. Now, whenever I've heard the term pureblood, it's almost exclusively I've been hearing it from the brothers. Not from my white allies, but from the brothers. And because I hear it the most from my friends over at Hotep Nation, or my friend Tyre here likes to use the term pureblood. But they're saying that the term is a racist dog whistle. Now, good morning, John Arnott, by the way, and also Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Now, and Duck Dog's in the house. Nice to see you, Duck Dog. So I mean, it's just, you know what? They have this amazing desire to smear anything and anyone who does not agree or does not comply. I'm not even say agree, who does not comply with their narrative. They find a way to smear you as a racist, an anti-Semite, an anti-LGBTQRQLMNOP. They can't handle the fact that there are people who do not agree with you. It's not that you don't agree. You will not comply with them, so they need to find a way to make you evil. And that's what they've been doing with our friend. Okay, he's not my friend, but you know what I'm saying. Our friend Joe Rogan. They feel like a need to make him evil. So I've been seeing just hit piece after hit piece, scouring through his things, taking tiny little clips of things he said and trying to turn them into something evil so they can get him canceled. And it's just, it's disgusting to me. But that's not what I'm here for. Now I see the 8/8s and I see the 40. Oh my God, you guys, I got to tell you, I'm just reading the chat now. Anyway, so by the way, if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate that. And if you're, do me a favor, hit the like button. There's about 25 people here and 9 likes. That means you haven't thought of it yet. Well, I'm reminding you, hit the like button and share the stream before, during, and after the stream. I greatly appreciate that, and that'll help the channel grow. And finally, if you want to sponsor the show like a tall person already has, you can do so at PDawgKnight.live. Up in the upper right-hand corner, the Streamlabs, thing that you fill in and whatever. You can do that there, or there's another link to Streamlabs, or you can do SuperChats, or whatever the other options are down in the description below, Cashapp and or Venmo. Although if you use Streamlabs or SuperChats, I will get your message immediately and I'll read it during the show. Or if you do it, Streamlabs is 24 hours a day, so if you do it off hours, I'll read it in the next show immediately. So all right, got my shill out of the way. Now let's talk about the memo. The memo has landed, okay? And it's amazing how they are attempting to rewrite history. And I'm not the only one who noticed this yesterday or predicted this yesterday. Our friend Stacy Lennox at PJ Media also seems to have noticed this. And I joked with her this morning on Twitter that maybe she was watching my show, because the Democrat strategy for this for the stupid 19 has clearly changed for the midterms. And so she put an article out this morning. Democrats and the corporate media are trying to rewrite the history of their stupid double entendre 19 response. And this is true. And there's our lovely Dr. Leanna Wen, who's, I mean, of all the people who was the most hysterical about vacations and face diapers, she might have been one of the most. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, they must have got this. Of course, you know, the Democratic memo for midterm strategy certainly goes out to CNN and MSNBC, ABC, NBC, NPR. Did I miss somebody? CBS and all the, you know, all the glamour magazines, right? So the memo's gone out. It's time for every cultural institution. Good morning, Wikipedia snippet, by the way. Wait, Viva la Raza means the race of people. Yeah, Latin. Okay, yeah, there you go. I'm waiting for someone to call me homophobic. My mom, who loved dearly, was gay all my life, and my uncle was gay, and one of my best friends in college was gay. I can't wait. Yeah, you know how they are. So anyway, the memo, this is the PG Media article. And this is what I predicted yesterday. The memo has gone out. It's time for every culture, institution, politician, and corporate media outlet to pivot. On stupid 19, they must reverse their Covistan policies, advocate a return to normal, and make excuses for the missteps of the health bureaucracy. The speed and shamelessness with which the narrative shift happened are breathtaking. And I'm telling you, I saw it when I saw Ted Lieu. I'm like, oh my God. He is one of look, Ted Lieu is one of those, the kind of those figurehead of the Democrat. You know, if he says something, that there's a whole new strategy in the Democratic Party, right? And the shamelessness with which the narrative shifts happen are breathtaking. It can only mean one thing. The internal polling for Democrats in the midterms is beyond dismal. And areas assumed to be safely in the D column, don't give them the D, are at risk. And we mustn't let them get away with the rewrite of history they are attempting. Good morning, Fox P2. What's happening? To anyone paying attention, COVID restrictions, I said the word, but I suppose if I don't say it too many times, I'll be fine, have been purely political. And I have a theory. I'm going to tell you my theory after we get done with this article. Blue states maintain restrictions like indoor mask mandates and limits on gatherings without any evidence that they reduce the spread of the illness. Some even posed outdoor mask mandates, California, despite no proof that the virus could spread effectively in that environment. In fact, in April of 2020, Bill Bryan, Undersecretary for Science and Technology at the Department of Homeland Security, told the media that sunlight and warmer temperatures reduced the half-life of the virus significantly. He also noted that air exchanges outdoors dissipated the virus, quickly decreasing the likelihood of transmission. That was in April 2020, but that was a terrible, deadly rat bastard Trumpian who did that, so it didn't matter if he said that because he was lying to you because Trump told him to. Anyway, masks on children in school have been a political flashpoint. The issue played a role in the Virginia gubernatorial race recently as this week, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, not to be confused with a warm Japanese liquor, and I remind me not to use the word liquor and Jen Psaki in the same sentence ever again, reiterated that federal guidance still recommends masking children for school. That was as recently as this week. She said that. This was another anti-science political move since Dr. Anthony Fauci admitted in November of 2020, not 2021, November of 2020, that children did not catch or transmit stupid 19 in large numbers. Switzerland figured that out in April of 2020. Like 4 months into the pandemic, Switzerland figured that out, and detailed genetic studies in Iceland, which I was telling you about in 2020. In fact, I'm going to put these articles out here. I'm going to just open them up, even though we won't, I'm not going to go through them, but I'm going to put them out there so you can see for yourself that this was happening. A detailed guide of genetic studies in Iceland confirmed it in June of 2020. We've known this. Good morning, Woodcutter. How you doing? And Jim Beam. How you doing? Also, Germany found that children could act as a brake on infection. Again, all the links are going to be in the... Okay, by the way, I'm going to have all the links to every single one of these articles in the description down below at the end of the show. During the outro, I make that update. So if you stick around that long or if you come back, just look in the outro, or excuse me, in the description down below, and it will be all in a single link, every single one of these articles. Germany found that children could act as a brake on infection. It was always ridiculous for New York Governor Kathy Hochul to require masks on 2-year-olds and for school districts nationwide to implement face diaper mandates. Continuing. Now, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Florida, and Oregon have set timelines to end their indoor mask mandates. Some are ending school mask mandates as well. Just last week, Virginia school districts were fighting Governor Glenn Youngkin's executive order. Remember how they just been bashing Glenn Youngkin because he said they're going to end mask mandates in school and not allow them to have mask mandates in school? Oh, suddenly, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, California, and Oregon are doing the same thing. Guess what? Everyone saw what happened in Virginia. This ain't good for Democrats. I'm telling you. And don't even dare let them tell you the science has changed. That is what's known in the in the electrical engineering industry as bullshit. So there you go. Anyway, also, meanwhile, images of Hochul and Georgia Governor Georgia gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams going maskless in photo ops with masked children went viral. Yeah, mask for thee, not for me. Now, here is Kovistan or authoritarian. I just mentioned her, Dr. Leanna Wu, telling CNN viewers that the science, she blinded me with science, has changed. When asked if she agrees with mask mandates getting lifted, well, let's just listen to Dr. Wu, who's been one of the most, okay, this woman's a propaganda machine. I'm sorry. She is a propaganda machine. Maybe I don't want to say that it's, part of her roots of her heritage, but they're pretty good at propaganda in the roots of her heritage.
Do you agree with the move?
Listen to this bitch. I'm sorry.
I do. There was and is a time and place for pandemic restrictions.
Yes.
But when they were put in,
let's remind you, this is the woman who, for the last entire year, was saying that we needed face diapers for children, that we need children getting the Fauci's. Now, I'm still pissed off about this whole, they're doing the research for getting the immunizations for kids 17 and under, when kids 17 and under, out of over 10 million infections in that age group, that they know of, because most of these infections are in children in particular are asymptomatic. So it could even be more than that. There have been 700 deaths. That's tragic. 700 deaths over 2 years, right? 2,000 kids have drowned in the same time period. So I don't see us banning water. Anyway, this is one of the biggest authoritarians of this. This is CNN expert. She's one of the experts that they would absolutely, if you saw a Twitter fact check, this is one of those, medical people and experts say, this is one of those people. All of a sudden, look, this is why I know that Democrats and the media, I know that's redundant, have gotten the message because of what this woman is about to say.
With the understanding that they would be removed as soon as we can. And in this case, circumstances have changed.
No, they haven't.
Are declining.
No, they haven't. Ted Lieu's little chart proves they haven't changed. But let's listen to her.
Also, the science has
Oh,
changed.
the science has changed. That's the get ready to hear the science has changed over and 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 over. The science has changed. No, the science has not changed. Because we saw studies from Iceland, we saw studies from Denmark, we saw studies from the UK, we've seen study after study after Israel, the study on whether or not these the Fauci juice is an effective deterrent against the stupid 19 when they know that people are still getting affected. They had the highest vaccination rate in the world, and they still had a super wave of infections because it didn't stop infections. And that's when they changed the definition of vaccination. So then now these are just prophylactics. This Fauci juice is just a prophylactic. And we also know that, I'm a little fired up today. We also know that under 50 years and under, you have the exact same rate of hospitalization. You have the exact same rate of death, whether you have the Fauci juice or not. However, in vulnerable, and this is what I said, I've been saying this for a year. And this is what Joe Rogan was saying, and this pisses them off because they don't want him to be right. So they're busy worrying about some shit he said about other things in his podcast, right? Good morning, David McDowell. Good morning, Woodcutter. Good morning, Stephanie. Nice to see you all. And Foxby too. So this under 50. I was reading charts. Again, same hospitalization rate for people who get the stupid 19 as the people and versus whether they've been vaccinated or unvaccinated. Same hospitalization rate. It doesn't change until you're over 50. Okay? So, and apparently nearly the same infection rate. And with Omicron, doesn't matter. You're going to get it one way or another. And that's a quote from Dr. Anthony Fauci. So, good morning, Fight for our right, by the way. So, and I'll get to the sponsor in a moment here. Thank you, Tyre Alexander. So, but Dr. Wu, what's her name? Wu? Lana Wu. Dr. Wu here says the science has changed. Au contraire, mon frère.
Know that vaccines protect very well against Omicron, which is the dominant.
No, they didn't. This study in Israel says no, they don't. And hospitalizations for Omicron were exactly the same for those who've taken the juice and who haven't taken the juice, except for, and I think that goes up to almost 80 years old. By the way, I didn't know this, and you could fact check this. I'm not sure, YouTube, if I'm wrong, I admit it, but I'm going to tell you what I've heard, and you can tell me if this is right or not. Someone can do a fact check on me. The average age of the people who've died from this pandemic in the United States of America is older than the average age of life expectancy in the United States. Now, I heard that from someone else. It may or may not be true, but I know it's close to the average age of life expectancy in the United States. Now, granted, and remember, we've been, the people, what did they say? I think it was the head of the CDC who said 75% of the people who have passed from this had 4 or more comorbidities. We also know that a lot of people who've been hospitalized, she even said this because they asked the question whether or not they're hospitalized with COVID or for COVID, okay? Because they test everyone who goes to the hospital for no matter what they came in for, and they found, obviously they're testing people, about 60 or 70% of the people coming to the hospital aren't coming in because of stupid 19, but they test them anyway, and they find that they have it because that's consistent with what they did in Iceland in 2020. I think it was April, May of 2020. Iceland went and started testing everybody to find out what the prevalence is within the country. So they tested pretty much everybody, or they tested like 100,000 people randomly, and found that the number of cases was 2 or 3 times what they expected it to be, because the number of cases was 2 or 3 times the number of reported cases. So a lot of people are getting this asymptomatically. So when we say there's 60 million people in the United States, I'm just giving the numbers close to that, 60 million people who have had this disease, it's more likely that there's been, in fact, that Johns Hopkins University Medical, whatever, the preeminent medical school in the country, has said that it's probably more like 100. We've had 150 million cases, but a vast majority of them are asymptomatic. So you've got, if you do the math, 900,000 into 150 million, okay, it's way less than 1% of people dying from this. And the hospitalizations are still under 1% of the people who get it. So the Fauci juice can be very redundant now that they're recognizing that there is such thing as naturally acquired immunity. Everything I'm saying, documented. CDC. 2 years durability, documented. CDC. I'm telling you what the CDC is saying, YouTube. The CDC says right now that they know that there's at least a 2-year durability on someone who's had the stupid 19 as far as the antibodies that they carry in their body. Plus, there's also B-cell memory for creating new antibodies should you happen to be the extremely rare reinfection. Straight off the CDC website. Not a conspiracy theory. Oh, but a year ago, that was considered a conspiracy theory. You see, yesterday's conspiracy theories are today's science. Because according to Dr. Wu, the science has changed. Isn't that special?
Variant, everyone 5 and older have widespread access to vaccines.
5 and older, yes, because people under 50, and whether you have a Fauci juice or not, you're going to have the same results, according to science. 0 to 17-year-olds, come on. Remember they were pitching because they were talking about Joe Rogan saying something like, well, if you're 25 and if you're 25 years old and you're healthy and you're eating right, yada, 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 you don't really need the juice, right? Guess what? Dare I say it again? Joe Rogan was right. This whole thing has been on emotions and politics. The response should have been, and we've known this based on some places that it did it this way, they spent their time focusing on the people who would be the most vulnerable to the disease. So they focused on the elderly, they focused on people who had respiratory issues, who had multiple comorbidities, they focused on people who were obese. Number one comorbidity of people who have died from the stupid 19. And yet, they're still demanding, nay, you comply with a one-size-fits-all strategy, which is ridiculous. We could be saving millions of people around the world if we'd stop trying to put jabs in arms of kids 17 and under, and maybe, just maybe, send some of those Fauci juice vials to places where the elderly in other countries aren't getting them, because we have decided that we're going to do a one-size-fits-all strategy. For half the people that they're giving it to probably could do without it and would have the same hospitalization rate if they got it, regardless of whether or not they have the Fauci juice in their body. And guess what? So they want a mandatory jabs for people who've already had it. But we know that, the the cases of myocarditis, which they were talking about, well, it's the same whether you get it, you have the same chance of having that, or even a greater instance of myocarditis than people who've had the disease. Well, guess what? Remember I said about asymptomatic spread, and probably those 0 to 17-year-olds who probably already had it, they had 10 million cases documented, but guess what? How many people are getting tested when you have asymptomatic stupid 19? Do you get tested if you don't have any symptoms? Probably not. So guess what? That number among 0 to 17-year-olds probably double, maybe triple. So now you're giving a vaccine that increases chance of myocarditis in kids who already may have had stupid 19, so they already have a greater chance of myocarditis, and then you're going to give it to them again, even a greater chance by throwing some Fauci juice into them? How does that make sense? When did we start doing medicine based on a one-size-fits-all strategy? Now, let me back that up, because there are absolutely vaccines that you should take or give your children. Now, not everyone agrees with that, but I do. I am the very opposite of an anti-vaxxer. We believe in vaccines, and all the proven vaccines that you take when you're a kid, we gave them all to our kids. My wife's a nurse. She's total vax head. And I agreed with her because all of those were proven vaccines using the old definition. However, how many people get their kids vaccinated for rickets? Who? Now I'm gonna start asking people that. Are you vaccinated for rickets? How old are you? You vaccinated for rickets? Because that's a vaccination. That's a vaccination you're supposed to get. Oh, wait a minute. You're only 15? Oh, yeah, because you don't start getting rickets vaccinations till you're in your 50s. But if we use the same strategy for stupid 19, we would be vaccinating every single kid for rickets right now too. Do we do that? No, because that's ridiculous. That's how ridiculous this seems to be. At least in my mind. I don't know. I'm just a guy sitting in my basement in a studio, a fake studio. It's not a fake studio. It's a real studio. I built it. But anyway, how many kids are hey, should we get some kids? We should probably get kids vaccinated for rickets then too, right? I mean, you said you want it's a vaccine that we use that's safe and effective, right? Why are we even testing vaccines for 0 to 5-year-olds? Why are we spending millions and millions of dollars? Because they're not, it's free to you and me because they're giving away the vaccine free. How much is the government spending on every vaccination? I'm just curious. I'm just curious. By the way, this whole situation, and I will humanize, or what do you call it? When you make something into human form, whatever. I'm going to humanize this whole strategy. This is a poster child against Medicare for all. Are you kidding me? Do you imagine? You think they're this authoritarian with this nonsense? Imagine what a government-run healthcare would be like. I'm happy that my health insurance company has restriction, this, that, because it would be nothing like, oh my gosh. Well, gosh, you think they're going to have mandatory exercise and running and biking programs when they have Medicare for all? Because they're gonna knock you for being obese, right? Holy shit. Good morning, Tyler F. And Tessa Cunningham. How you doing? So anyway, let me get caught up here. Oh, let's finish this out, and then I got a couple Streamlabs to get to.
And we also know about one-way masking, the idea that even if other people around you are not wearing masks, if you wear a high-quality mask, that also protects you.
Holy shit. Did you hear what she just said? This is new. Oh, so people should have the choice of whether or not they should put a face diaper on. This is new information. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Dr. Wen. Man, what a revelation. I have to wear a mask to protect others. What a that's always been stupid.
Wearer too. And so in this case, I'm not saying, I don't think anyone really is saying that no one should ever wear masks.
If they
but
want
rather
to.
That the responsibility should shift from a government mandate imposed from the state or the local district of the school. Rather, it should shift to an individual responsibility by the family who can still decide that their child can wear a mask if needed.
What does that sound like? By God, when did Dr. Wynn become Ted Cruz? This is amazing. Dr. Luana Cruz right now. Oh my God. Just listen to her. You know, this is straight out of Democratic strategy. This is amazing. Hello, Mr. Scott, nice to see you back. Did you said she said high quality? Yeah, because remember a couple weeks ago, her tune changed again about masks, period. She suddenly, out of the blue, Leanna Wen started talking about how cloth masks and these little paper surgical masks don't do anything for this virus. Remember she said that on This is CNN. She said it on CNN. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, she said, the cloth masks don't do any good. And then, but the same week, Dr. Fauci said, well, cloth masks give you some protection, right? They saw the writing on the wall with Glenn Youngkin. That's because they should not have lost Virginia. There's a lot more Democrats in Virginia than there are Republicans. But Glenn Youngkin won. And now they are panicking. They see the polling. They see the writing on the wall. The memos went out to everyone in the DNC. The memos went out. They have their little contacts in all the media outlets, particularly CNN and ABC and NBC and CBS and PBS and MSNBC and CNBC and the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times, the Washington Post and the Los Angeles Times and whatever the other friggin' papers are. They sent out their memos saying, hey, we got to put the brakes on this because the people ain't having it. And the trucker strike up in Canada has them terrified because even though your prime minister up there, Canadians, your prime minister said, well, this is just, a fringe, a tiny little fringe. 20% of truckers in Canada are 20% of all the truckers, independent truckers in Canada, are part of this protest across the country. The same protest is happening in Australia. The same protest is happening in Netherlands. They're deathly fear of this. So now it's the same. This isn't a pivot. This is they smacked up against the wall and realized they were going in the wrong direction. And so now they've completely turned in a different direction.
Take New Jersey, the case in New Jersey, for instance, their new case average is just over 4,000. Is that an acceptable number to do this, or are they projecting out to March 7th?
Was this really? Remember when this happened last year, when the cases dropped deeply? Did they say anything about taking off their masks? No, they didn't. This happened before. Remember, it's somewhat cyclical, and it's somewhat with the different variants. You're seeing different things. But listen.
At this point,
I don't think we should be looking at case counts at all.
Oh, really? Oh, don't look at case counts anymore.
Especially when we're dealing with a milder variant and when so many people were exposed to Omicron and therefore have at least some level of protection either through vaccination or immunity.
What? Dr. Leanna, what was saying? Some protection? What? Let her repeat that one. You got to hear that one again. Here, let's move this back. She said, right here.
Or have at least some level of protection either through vaccination or immunity. The key.
Wait a minute. Is she now saying that people who've had stupid 19 have immunity? I could have sworn I heard that just come out of her mouth. When did she know it? And what's that line when they were talking about Nixon? When did he know? And something he didn't know it, whatever. Good God, hang on.
Number that we should be looking at is hospitalizations. If our ICUs and hospitals
it's funny though. There's still people bitching about hospitalizations, and I've seen people talking about, oh my God, our hospitals are the ICU at our hospital is 90% full. It's all friggin' COVID-19, all the unvaccinated. Wait a minute, whoa, back up, back the F up. You're saying that your emergency rooms and ICUs are at 90%? Is that what you said? I'm 90%? You do realize that hospitals generally run their emergency rooms and ICUs at 95%, right? They have a 5% buffer. So and your ICUs, because that's what they're supposed to be at. 90% means you have room that below their business model. So when you say that at 90% capacity, well, what the hell? If they're supposed to be at 90% capacity. Oh, but I know you're having staffing problems. By the way, does this mean now that all these nurses and people they fired that already had stupid 19 in the past, and all the firefighters and all the police officers and all us essential people that were essential for a year and probably got stupid 19 and still worked afterwards and have been working ever since, does that mean all us essential people who got fired can go back to work now? Can we ask for back pay from the people who demanded that we don't go back to work now that we know that, there is some kind of immunity from already having it, and so it wasn't necessary for me to put some shit in my body? Can we all go back? Can they all go back to work now? And I would ask for back pay because we know the science said maybe they didn't need to fire me. Science. She blinded me with science. This is taking me a lot longer than I thought. 2 minutes and 27 seconds, and I'm only halfway through.
Particular region are not overwhelmed. If they're not over capacity,
they're not overwhelmed, because overcapacity would be over 100%, because they're designed to run at least 94, 95, 96% and have just a little bit left over. I live in a county with 90,000 people with 5 hospitals that have 50 ER beds total. It can fill up fast. Yes, it can fill up fast. And especially in some kind of an emergency or disaster, it can fill up fast. But they generally run at 90% capacity.
A number, for example, 75% or 80% full, then
75 or 85% full, that's not even in the hospital's business model. They're supposed to be able to run it 90% efficiently. That's what 100%, they should be able to run it 100% efficiently. But you demanded that people who already had stupid 19 and very unlikely to get it again or transmit the disease, you demanded that they be laid off, fired, whatever. And they said, well, fuck you then. And I don't blame them.
We should be able to relax all restrictions. And I actually believe that
there's no hospital in the country that runs at 70%. If they run at 70%, they can't. They'll cease to exist. They're designed to run at 85, 90, 95%. If they're not running at that, especially the ICUs, that means they're not doing enough essential surgeries for people who needed, cancer surgeries and shit like that. People going through some serious shit, and they've been neglecting those people during the stupid 19 pandemonium.
Should be starting to, with the first restriction removed, should actually be the restriction on children. Because while for adults, you could say, well, what's the harm of adults masking when they go into a grocery store? There actually is a harm that we should be discussing of children continuing to mask. That doesn't mean that masking doesn't have its place for children when there are very high rates of hospitalization. If we get a new variant in the future that children are particularly susceptible to, we may want to bring masks back. But we should also be intellectually honest and say that masking has had a cost, especially for the youngest learners, people with English as a second language, children with learning disabilities. There has been a cost to them. So the risk-benefit calculation has really changed.
Oh my God! She sounds like a spokesman for Ron DeSantis, doesn't she? She sounds like is this the new health commissioner of Florida?
The restriction on children, because children, when there are a new variant in the, but we should especially
okay, that was the end of that. She sounds like a spokesman for Ron DeSantis. She sounds like she's from Florida. That's hilarious. All right, let me get caught up. Oh, and then Stacey also mentioned Ted Lieu's tweet that I showed you the other day, or yesterday, and this morning. But it's uncanny with which the speed this memo has been affecting the Democrats and news media. All right, really quick, let me get to this. Thank you, Tyre Alexander, for sponsoring the show. And Tyre Alexander, you are the new Streamlabs sponsor of the day. Who says, oh, it's a sponsor. Let me get some sponsor music out here. Hold on, let's see. All right, I need some appropriate music for the commercial. Just a moment, please. Let's try, how about, should we do something kind of melancholy and sad for this one? No, this is a happy ad. So let's find some happier music. We'll go, let's go to the beginning here. Please bear with me. Because I need to find some happy music for this ad, because this is a good sponsor. What the, why don't I want to go to the back? Let's click that. This isn't working. That's weird. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now, I need genres. Let's go moods. Let's do happy, right there. We'll go happy for this one. All right. Should we do a dance kind of thing? No, let's go 60s rock happy. Today's sponsor is Oxford Dictionary. Today we are announcing a change to an important word. We are changing science to Fauci. We are officially recognizing Dr. Fauci as the science. And Kamala is now a unit of measuring how hated a politician is. Next time, use the word Fauci. Even though we Kamala him 20 Kamalas. All right, there you go. Thank you, Tyre Alexander. That was a great ad. As always, you should be in an advertising agency, not with the TSA. And also, we have another ad. Oh, this one's a little more dark. So let's find some more a little more dark music for this one. Let's see. Let's go. Not necessarily dark, but let's go. Actually, this one's a little more epic. Let's go epic with this one. Let's go epic. And we will do, here we go. They'll do this one. BBC Rentals is launching a new series called Cock Whitey. Since our members don't eat pussy, we partnered with Cock Whitey to give a satisfying experience. If your kitties smell like a raw fish taco, the brothers not eating our Cock Whitey loves the kitty. Okay, thank you for that. BBC Rentals. I'm not sure I should have read that so loud, but I did anyway. Thank you, Tyre Alexander, and also Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Oh no, that's not BBC Rentals. No, that's Gunfox. Is that Black Hebrew Israelite? I can't remember who does this. That's Black Hebrew Israelite. Thank you for writing another perfect ad for the show. God. I have a feeling I just might get in trouble for that one, but that's okay. You know how much I love you, brother. Anyway, so let's look at some examples. Let's look at more examples of things that these are the ones that these are just back articles. So the articles that were referenced in that in Stacey Lennox article was this one when Jen Psaki said still our recommendations that kids wear face diapers in school. They also referenced this one when Dr. Fauci confirms that children don't catch or transmit stupid 19 in large numbers. There's also the one here where coronavirus in the young, science say they don't spread it, but they can help fight it. That's referencing the German study. And then there's this spread of SARS in the Icelandic population. Iceland did a lot of, Iceland doesn't have a huge population. I think the whole country, I mean, there might be 100,000 people. I'm not even sure, but it's a small population. It's isolated because it's on an island, so they can easily control who comes in and out of the country, and they can do studies on a large population and do large random studies that gives you a better idea what's really happening. And so they did a lot of good studies earlier that everyone ignored. And I was reading some of these back in April of 2020, just as this thing was, kicking off. So anyways, the spread of SARS in the Icelandic population. And then also there's this article in The Guardian. That's about the German study. I don't know if you can read that one, though. Yeah, you can. But yeah, that's the German study that she referenced. So anyway, okay, what's this? Oh, so we're going to stick to, okay. Oh, and then this is the one, though. This is the one that she didn't mention. And I laughed my tail off at this. By the way, good morning, Unacceptable Views of the West. Welcome to the show again. Why are they using children to prevent a tree from being cut down? I don't know what they were doing there. Where's that picture? Yeah, I think it's this picture here. Wait, where is it? Here? No, it's here. Yeah. Well, because this is the new global warming strategy. If they just get several millions of children to hug trees, then they won't cut them down, and then we'll have that, all that carbon will be absorbed by the trees that the children are protecting. Because this whole stupid 19 thing around the world is just a strategy to practice for the new global warming restrictions that are going to come down in 2023. So, the new world, what do they call it? Not new world, the Great Reset. Justin Trudeau is a big fan of the Great Reset. He's very excited about that. So anyway, all right. Here is Democratic representative. As I said, this is just after the show yesterday was when I saw this, and I actually saw the tweet myself, and I think I have a copy of it right here. Yes, I do. Democratic Representative Jeffries, hello, Teresa the Kid, says that Biden's leadership is the reason a lot of these states are getting rid of mask mandates. Now, this is hilarious when you see, and when I get to the punchline of this series of tweets and articles that I'm about to go through. There's a punchline, and I will show it to you. There's definitely a punchline. Representative Hakeem Jeffries from New York credited President Biden's leadership for the rapidly growing number of states and municipalities that either set dates to roll back their face diaper mandates or have already removed them. Jeffries Tuesday said that here, I'm not even going to read this article. I'm going to show you this splash of comedy. And then Dr. Wu also Dr. Wu is she is on point with this Democratic memo. But let's watch Representative Hakeem Jeffries make a complete ass of himself, in my humble opinion.
Announced that they are soon going to be easing mask mandates. I believe California is ending their.
Yeah, and yes, this is in mostly your left ear. If you only have one right eye.
Changes as well. I understand that you respect the decisions of local officials.
Wait for it.
What is your reaction to
Wait for it.
Restrictions being lifted? Does that give you hope that we are perhaps reaching the end stages of having to have these health measures in place? And then for Congressman
Wait
Maloney,
for it.
speaking,
Listen to this answer. Listen to this answer and get your laughy emojis on.
Well, here's where we are in America. Job creation is up. Wages are up, unemployment is down, and the Omicron variant is in retreat.
Hold up. Stop.
And that's
Whoa,
not
whoa,
by
whoa, 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 whoa,
accident.
whoa, 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 whoa. There's a little something he forgot there. Little something he forgot there. Inflation is up. Oh, job creation too. You know what's funny about that? Job creation, he says. Job creation. You know that we still haven't recovered all the jobs from before the stupid 19 when we started deciding that it was time to put restrictions on jobs and states started doing shit. You know where most of the job recovery is also? Far, far more in a couple states, in fact, by far, like percentage wise. Florida and Texas. Okay. And Mr. Oh, I shouldn't spoil this by cutting this up. But I'm going to. The idea, because look, yes, the unemployment rate is lower. That's because so many people have left the job market completely and they're not counting those people. So really, when you take away people's jobs and then you give them back the same jobs, my question is that truly considered job creation? If you take away their jobs, but then you give them back the job they already had, that seems like, I don't know if you could call that job creation, but yeah, whatever. I'm going to let him finish. So, and I'm not going to cut him off at all. I want you to get a good laugh. And this is hilarious. Thank you. Good morning, Colleen Bernier. How are you?
Are up, unemployment is down, and the Omicron variant is in retreat.
Not because of anything anyone did. It's just how viruses work, you knothead. What did you do to put it in retreat? I'm sorry, I said I was going to stop this, did I? The Omicron variant is in retreat. And why exactly might that be? Is that because everybody got it and then they don't have it anymore? Because but this motherfucker is about to say something so damn funny, and I promise I'm gonna try not to let this stop. I'm trying to try not to stop this again until it's over, so you can just laugh along with me. Here we go. You get ready. Wait for it.
And that's not by accident. That's because under President Biden's leadership, the public health infrastructure was put into place. Beginning with the American Rescue Plan without a single Republican
Yes, that American Rescue Plan did it all. Yes.
That we can do everything possible to crush the virus.
Yes, we've crushed the virus.
That is what has been happening.
We've crushed the virus. We did something to crush the virus. Through the trials and tribulations
of a once-in-a-century pandemic.
Yes.
Through the Delta variant, now through the Omicron variant. Yes. When President Biden took office, there were 2 million Americans fully vaccinated. 1 year later...
Wait. So he's going to say that, there were 2 million vaccinated. Now there's 200 million. When did we get the vaccine? Because I thought when Biden said the shelves were bare, we weren't vaccinating anybody, and then he took credit for all that. But I could have sworn the vaccine, would the same number of people have the Fauci juice in them if the other guy had won, the guy with the funny hair had won? I don't think that changes anything. That big deal. But he's good. But here we go.
And 200 million Americans fully vaccinated. That doesn't happen by accident.
No, that happens because everyone went and got vaccinated. That has nothing to do with, did this administration do something special? Anyway.
Because President Biden and Democrats in the House and the Senate have leaned into the science, to the evidence.
The science.
Standing up a robust public health infrastructure.
What infrastructure did they set up? Walgreens and CVS? Because that's where most people got vaccinated. Just like, they must have built 1,000 new CVS stores, because I know that most people are their clinic where they already go.
Fruits of that work.
So, as I predicted, this is going to be a Biden triumph when it isn't a Biden triumph. And all these people saying that, oh, now we're going to get rid of the mandates and this and that. So anyway, and then, of course, Dr. Wu, several days earlier, this is already the thing with Dr. Wu. I think it's the same thing. Hang on.
You say we can start removing at least some coronavirus restrictions now.
And even Wolf saying we can remove some coronavirus restrictions. Fuck that. You can watch that one yourself. Anyway, let's keep going because there's a punchline coming up. I promise you there is a punchline. That wasn't the punchline, although you want to get your punches ready on that one. Anyway, that wasn't the punchline. There is a punchline coming up. Now, here it is. I don't want to spoil it. I did anyway. That is the punchline. Here's the punchline. This was yesterday, the same day that all these people are saying that. Here we go. Joe Biden tweets, or excuse me, the handlers that handle Joe Biden tweets, get vaccinated, get boosted, wear a mask while you're in public. We're going to get through this together. Okay, Joe, oh my God. I was going to say holy shit balls, Batman, but you know what I mean. Anyway, that's why the handlers of the party had tweeted that out for him yesterday. Anyway, so now, but as I said, there's a whole list of Democrats that got the memo. New York reportedly dropping mask mandates for businesses, but not for school children. So they didn't get the entire memo. See, in New York, but see, in New York, they don't have to care about the parents because this woman loves her power, by the way. She's dropping the mask made for school children, in spite of the fact that I think there's pictures of her at schools not wearing a mask. She really can't. She really loves that power. I don't know if she's going to last, though. People don't already not liking her. But, next door in New Jersey, they're dropping it for schools. Anyway, Democratic governors are moving faster and farther than the White House and federal health agencies to lift pandemic restrictions. Like, that's a New York Times story. And also here in Illinois, that fat fuck Pritzker. Oh, you can't see these, can you? There you go. There's Houchel. There's them. In New York, they're lifting him. In Illinois, they're going to lift him before March 1st. And this guy, who is a walking comorbidity, is saying they're going to lift the mask mandates in Chicago, in Illinois. And here in Oregon, they're lifting the mask mandates. Yep. And then they're going to do it also in this is hang on, that's Oregon and I think a couple other states. California. I mean, all these states that have been, wow, it's like no one ever thought of this before. Florida, Texas, no one ever thought of it. North Dakota and South Dakota, no one ever thought of this. Even in super blue Minnesota, they really didn't bring any of that shit back, except for in Minneapolis and St. Paul. But that's what keeps the DFL, aka Democrat Farmer Labor Party. Although the farmers can't stand the DFL anymore, that is where the DFL is strongest in Minneapolis and St. Paul. But the rest of us around the state are saying, "Let's go, Brandon." Anyway, moving on. But here, this is cool though. Chip Roy, who is the representative from the state of Texas, has introduced a bill to reinstate all troops discharged over the Fauci juice mandate. That's a great idea, Representative Roy. Representative Chip Roy of Texas introduced a bill on Tuesday that would allow service members who were discharged over Biden's administration's military stupid 19 vacation mandate to be reinstated. The bill, called the Service Restoration Act, would also prevent troops from facing punishment or any adverse treatment as a result of not wanting to have the Fauci juice flowing through their veins. They are pure bloods. Hello, T-Ball. From facing punishment for any blah, blah, blah. Adverse action would include retaliation, punishment, disparate treatment, a requirement to wear a mask, or reside in substandard housing. The bill would also allow reinstated service members to count the time they were discharged towards their retirement benefits and expunge from the service member's service record any adverse action that was based solely on not receiving the Fauci juice. Roy said in a statement to Breitbart News, because of President Biden's power-hungry, anti-science, stupid 19 vaccine mandate, hundreds of valuable American service members were being forced out of our military, taking with them years of subject matter expertise, careers of selfless sacrifice, and lifelong dreams of military service. This strategically foolish, profoundly un-American, and completely unacceptable. I introduced the Service Restoration Act to ensure that the brave men and women of the armed forces are not fired over this wrong-headed mandate, whether it be for medical, religious, conscientious, or any reason. And those already dismissed are able to get back to honorably serving their country with their time of service records rightfully restored, just in time for our war with Russia. Sorry, that last part he didn't say. But anyway, so far there are 7 Republican co-sponsors. Any Democrats? Probably not, because, let's go Brandon. So moving on. What else do I got here? Oh, Newsom. See, even Gavin Newsom is saying indoor mask mandate ends next week for but only for the vacationed. However, if you're in Los Angeles, you'll need to you have to mask up because reason. Well, maybe because they saw this picture of Gavin Newsom at the playoff game with Magic Johnson, and there were no masks to be found in this very elite suite. Because when the elite makes rules for us, the rest of us, not elite, that doesn't necessarily apply to them, but it applies to us. So anyway, California too. A2 California, says Joe Biden. Now, but this is one that's kind of sick. This one just has me I don't know if you saw this yesterday, but there was an email in Loudoun County, Virginia, that crazy place where they've been fighting over critical race theory and mask mandates. Apparently, there was an email that they were going to arrest students, because remember, in Loudoun County, that's in Virginia, right? It's in Virginia, where the new governor of Virginia said we're not going to have mask mandates. And so, but the Loudoun County was saying, you know what, any kid who shows up here with no mask, we're going to have them isolated and or arrested. School mask mandates have recently been lifted in New Jersey and Delaware and Massachusetts, Massachusetts is also considering lifting its mandate. But Loudoun County, Virginia students who attempt to enter school maskless could face arrest. According to a leaked email, a security official for Loudoun County Public Schools coached principals on obtaining a warrant and to arrest students who attempted to enter the school maskless. Now, I'm kind of a little confused here because I didn't realize it was a law that anyone passed anywhere in that place, but apparently they think this is the law in Virginia. I guess I'd have to go look through the statute. An email was sent February 1st by John Clark, Director of Safety and Security for Loudoun County Public Schools, to the district's principals. Quote, if you determine that an individual should be trespassed, then a school administrative representative, in conjunction with S&S coordinator Rich Thomas, will proceed to magistrate to swear out a trespass summons or warrant for their arrest. The email says school administration will meet Rich Thomas at the Safety and Security Office and then proceed to the magistrate, which is located next to our office. Clark's directive blatantly defies Governor Glenn Youngkin's executive order empowering parents to opt their schools out of school mask mandates. The email says if a warrant is obtained, it will be served by law enforcement within 24 hours. They're going to arrest kids for not wearing a mask, the lowest risk group, and the group that has, as Dr. Fauci himself stated, do not catch or transmit COVID-19 in large numbers. Ha! And yet, they're going to arrest them. Holy shit. You can read the rest of that one later. Also in the news, the CDC has considered increasing time between vaccine to cut risk of heart inflammation. What? I thought these vaccines were safe and effective. I mean, they are. I mean, look, like I said, if you're over 60, get vaccinated now. Seriously, you are in that group that absolutely needs them. Okay, if you're obese, if you're big giant human being, even more than me. I mean, I'm somewhat obese myself, but I've already had COVID and I survived it fine. And then when my lady boomer got it, we didn't change our lifestyle at all, other than she had to stay home for 10 days. Nothing. I got tested again, nothing. I wonder if that naturally acquired immunity has saved me again. Anyway, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is weighing changes to the vaccine guidance to increase the time between doses due to heart inflammation. Now, this is not just Breitbart, because, you know, Breitbart is a bunch of right-wing nut jobs. But if you look in the, what is this, Boston Herald, or which Boston paper is this? Oh, no, Boston 25 News. Okay, let's read their version of this, because I don't want you to think that I'm only using right-wing nut job sources. So here is the K25 or Boston 25 News in Boston. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention are considering changing vaccine guidance to lengthen the time between doses of certain vaccines because of the risk of heart inflammation. The more time between the first 2 doses of the mRNA COVID-19 vaccines appears to reduce the risk of myocarditis, a rare type of heart inflammation seen in some after getting the mRNA vaccine. And it could improve the shot's effectiveness. Oh, that's really, they think it could increase the shot's effectiveness. It has nothing to do with the fact that you get there's a lot of people getting a heart inflammation, right? Anyway, researchers told the CDC Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices. According to the CDC, the proposed changes would apply to the Pfizer and Moderna stupid 19 Fauci juices. Oh my gosh, the most effective and safe and effective vaccines are the ones that they're applying this to. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. I don't have an amazing, but I could go, wow. Under the current guidelines, the 2 Pfizer stupid 19 vaccine doses are given 3 weeks apart, and the 2 stupid 19 doses from Moderna are given 4 weeks apart. Reports of an increase in myocarditis in some, particularly men between the ages of 18 and 39 following a stupid 19 vaccination, prompted researchers to look at the interval between doses. Dr. Nicole. Now, so, okay, I'm not going to read the rest of this, but listen, I've said, so look, okay, they say that getting stupid 19 also increases the incidence of myocarditis, right? And we also know that in people, especially people probably 40 and less, you're not likely to get severe cases of the stupid 19, whatever, disease, right? In fact, there's probably a lot of asymptomatic people who never got tested that probably have had it and don't know it. And so that also, even if you had it, you had asymptomatic, case, you still could increase your chance of myocarditis. And now they're demanding that people take the Fauci juice, which they proven here increases cases of myocarditis in some people. So imagine if you had a previous asymptomatic case that you never knew about, you never got tested for, but they're demanding you get this, which also increases your case of myocarditis. That's probably not good, is it? Are they testing people before they have them take the Fauci juice? Whether or not they've had it? Maybe that should have been a part of the plan. Again, they've gone with this one-size-fits-all plan that makes no sense if you look at the data and the science that they have put on their website. It's been on their website. The stuff about the naturally acquired immunity, the data, it's been there. They just don't talk about it. Have you heard any media outlets talk about it before this month? Other than to ridicule the idea of naturally acquired immunity. And again, acquired immunity, not just you don't naturally have the immunity, but if you had the stupid 19 prior case, now they're suddenly recognizing that there is such thing as naturally acquired immunity. And now Democrats are even touting Ted Lieu. Again, Ted Lieu's yesterday. I almost fell off my chair when I saw that. I'm like, oh, we're bookmarking that motherfucker because that's going on my show. And it did. This is uncanny. This is uncanny that they've taken this approach. Again, the thing with the kids is really driving me insane. The idea that this is something they're just on this major path to give to kids when why not give to older populations all around the world? Then you're more likely to get rid of the dangerous variants. And again, most of the people who are dying from this are near their life expectancy average anyway. But it's no reason not to protect them. It's a reason to protect them. But this whole one-size-fits-all thing that they've done is nearly criminal in my eyes. And it may be criminal. But hey, guess what? Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, and whoever else makes Fauci juices, they're laughing all the way to the bank. Pfizer's profits are up, what, $6 billion? Or no, not their profits are up $6 billion. The profit they expected to make off of this, it's $6 billion more than what they expected to make off of it. You know, when you have a mandate to take a product into your body and you don't have to pay for it, that means the federal government will print money to pay for it for you. Freaking-tastic. Good job, federal government. Holy shit. Anyway, I gotta go, but here, let's get these other ones out of the way. Austrians are being... Oh, in Austria, though, not every country is sane. Austria, which is kind of home, or at least the origin of crazy dictator-like peoples, is certainly living up to their roots. Austrians are being stopped randomly by authorities and forced to prove that they've taken the vacation. It's now illegal in the country of Austria to be unvaccinated. You're breaking the law if you are not vaccinated. Austria became the first European country to mandate COVID vaccines for the entirety of its population. Details have emerged on how the government plans to enforce the measure. Reports note that citizens will be stopped randomly in the street and pulled over in their vehicles and forced to comply with vaccine status checks by the authorities. And it's a $687 fine for the first offense. And it could be up to almost $3,900 if they find you're not vaccinated in Austria. Austria's police and military have begun manhunts for unvaccinated people. They're patrolling streets, public spaces, and shopping areas, asking for vaccine passports. Here they are. They're Austrian police.
Polizeiarbeit auf der Maria-Hilfer-Straße. Hier sind nicht verdeckte Ermittler unterwegs, sondern Beamte der Bereitschaftseinheit, die sich bei ihrem Einsatz von Fotografen begleiten lassen. Die Kontrollen der 2G-Nachweise sollen schließlich möglichst breitenwirksam sein und engmaschig, wie es in der Polizeisprache heißt.
Engmaschig bedeutet, dass einerseits im Streifendienst kontrolliert wird. Das Motto lautet hier, jede Amtshandlung, jeder Bürgerkontakt wird möglich, eine Covid-Kontrolle, je nachdem, ob es geht oder nicht. Und zweitens spezielle Streifen in ganz Wien, die extra dafür abgestellt sind, dass sie nur...
I don't know if that's an exact translation, but it's close enough anyway. All right, I don't have time to get to the FCs, but... This is a Dr. Mark McDonald to parents. No more child abuse. Unmask your parents. He's a California-based psychiatrist and best-selling author of United States of Fear. And he took a bold step towards restoring national sanity yesterday when he notified the parents of child patients that he will no longer tolerate their arbitrary masking, indicating the practice has been abusive. Very good article. Check it out. It'll be in the link down below. Good morning, Brent Hayes. Another one that'll be in the link when I get to it. Let the seizures begin. Ottawa police have begun arresting Canadians providing material support for Freedom Convoy truckers. We'll talk a little bit about that one tomorrow. It's a little bit ridiculous. Also in Canada, the Ottawa police beat up a 78-year-old man for honking his horn. And I think there's video of it. Yeah, here's the video of that. How long is this? Yeah, it's 4 minutes long because it shows the entire arrest. Again, we might check that one out tomorrow. Also, in our Canadian friends, Canadian elites created the Ottawa crisis. Now they have no idea how to end it. Hey, I know how they can end it. Maybe not be that drastic, though. Anyway, and then finally, Alberta, Canada is ending their vaccine passports by midnight. Congratulations, Alberta residents. All right, gang. Wish I had more time, but I don't. It's time for me to call it a day. Thanks for being here today. A bunch of you dropped in. I appreciate it. Make sure you, before you go on the way out, hit the like button. And also, if you want to click that link of all the articles, you can find that in the description. I'll let you know during the outro when it's done being updated. Otherwise, just come back later. Every article that we did today will be in the description down below. Thank you to our sponsors today, Tall Person, Big BBC Rentals, Black Hebrew Israelite, and Tyre Alexander, who is the superstar donor of the day via Streamlabs. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It is time for me to go. Gotta get the hell out of Dodge, though. So, my name is PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here. Have a fantastic day. See you tomorrow. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.